chatting with a coworker recently,
Eh?
and I'm still pissed off that fucking Rosalina's getting a movie before Daisy is. The fucking disrespect, dude. She's not in any video games. She's not. She can't be in the new movie. She's not even in the new Mario sports games. I don't think.
Damn.
Wasn't she out of the current the starting roster for Aces?
I have no idea.
Not okay. Our girl Daisy needs some love, dude.
When Luigi finally gets his time to shine, maybe then the Daisy will show up.
He did, and he's gotten 3 Luigi's Mansion games.
No,
and
I mean for the movie.
Man, if they make a Super Luigi movie, you think that one would be the one to cross $1 billion?
Probably not. If it doesn't have Mario, nobody's gonna care.
Well, okay, so where do they go realistically after, Super Mario Galaxy? Obviously, I want Luigi's Mansion, a Luigi's Mansion movie. I feel like everyone wants that. I feel like that'd be so good.
I mean, I feel like,
But
since the first one, it was just like, oh, it'd be a good, I don't know, scary movie to have for, kids or whatever during, if they did it during, October or something like that.
What else could they do, though? Obviously, they have stuff like Sunshine. Or... I don't know. They could just easily make a Super Mario Brothers 2 movie and 3. And just keep going like
Just
that.
go over and over and over. It's the thing that just keeps printing money.
It worked out well enough for them the first time.
Yep.
It's probably going to work just as well the second time.
It's so true.
Should probably do an intro, right?
So. Well, hello and welcome, everyone, to another episode of It Never Ends. I'm Andrew. Over there is my good buddy Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'll tell you what's not doing good, though. Highguard.
My ass? Oh.
Well, that
okay.
too.
Man, if people listening to this could hear the play-by-play I was giving you before the podcast started.
It sounded rough.
Mm-hmm.
But he fought the good fight to be here to talk about how Highguard's shutting down after 45 days. Damn.
Man, you never like to see it. It
No.
was an interesting, cool idea. They just did not execute on it super well. I feel like they had a mode a week after starting, a special mode where it was 4v4 instead of 3v3. And pretty much everybody preferred that, so they kept it in as a permanent. To me, it just reaffirms that this game needed more time in the oven before being released. And
I think
it
that
just came out at the...
I think you are indeed correct on that. I think it did need more time to kind of polish and figure out. But I also think at some point it was kind of just and kind of I think what it was kind of talked about here. It's it says here the Wildlight entertainment senior level designer talked about how he said he thought the game might actually be a little bit too competitive, so it doesn't really allow for more casual experience. To which I have no idea if that's true or not, but it's you make something that's there for competitiveness and then don't really leave much room for casualness. Kind of just doesn't really work in essence. I don't know. It's you have to be willing to kind of ride that line where it's there can be competitive stuff, but also you have to leave it so people can just play it just for fun, because that's oftentimes what a lot of people do.
There's a fine line where a truly great game that works like that has to be easy enough to get into to where you can just play it casually, but be deep enough to where if you want to min-max and master it, that's something that you can do. That's why in games like Rivals and Overwatch, you have entire leagues coaches and stuff where people will go in and tell you in depth how do you want to approach certain maps of certain characters, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if there's a game completely based around competitive, like you say, and there's no room for casuals whatsoever. Cough, cough, Valorant. Um,
A lot of Riot games.
then yeah, like actually,
Yeah, like
uh,
legitimately.
mhm.
So
Where it's like if you don't know what you're doing and you're playing this for the first time, it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, and then everybody's screaming at you in the text chat, and you're just sitting there having a horrible time, getting killed over and over.
yeah.
Even when you do get good, it's like, I'm not even having fun playing this, and you just leave.
Well, it's just like what do we like? I don't know. It's just like to me. It's like this is a sign of kind of like generally where gaming or multiplayer a lot of multiplayer gaming comes to, and I think it's mainly comes from like games like Overwatch and like Marvel Rivals and stuff like that. It's that you need to play that casual experience, like you need to have that casual experience and stuff like that, because that's how most people play it. Not saying that there aren't people who play those games competitively, but it's just like if you just completely forego that part, it's like it's just not going to end well.
Well, also, we're in an era where when people saw Highguard, what was the first thing that a lot of people first thought?
Yeah.
It's just another hero shooter.
Mm-hmm.
People are all up on Marvel Rivals and Overwatch right now, and here's another company coming in to capitalize on the trend. That may not even be what it is. That for Highguard, that's certainly not like the same gameplay loop as like Rivals or Overwatch. It was very different
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, but that's just the idea that people got.
Yeah.
And for these devs specifically, I think it reminds me a lot when X Defiant first came out, and they did the whole like Call of Duty competitive competing thing where they said, "Oh yeah, this is going to be a Ubisoft game." Has a bunch of Ubisoft factions and is going to play a lot like COD, and a lot of people appreciated how it played a lot like old like Black Ops 2 and stuff like that. You got to look for what people don't have that they're looking for. And with X Defiant, well, it wasn't good and didn't last. Sadly, I might add.
Yeah.
People did like it for what it was, and from these devs specifically, like what have been people asking for the longest time now, the longest freaking time ever since Titanfall 2 came out. That was great. Give us more Titanfall. We want Titanfall 3. All they had to do was not even like obviously they don't own the rights to Titanfall or
Yeah.
but do that. A lot of people shot on these like big twitchy 3D movement shooters. When it's done really well, like Titanfall 2 did, it can be both casual, competitive, and be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And God, it's so sad when I think of like everything Highguard could have been and just wasn't.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with you.
Sorry, I went on kind of a rant
No,
though,
it
but
was good, because it's like you're absolutely right. No, it's just like he's that when it's done correctly or whatever, that like even like the most casual experiences can become more competitive and stuff like that. But if you want to stay casual,
hmm,
that's fine. But at the same point, it's just like for me when I look at like when I can look at a lot of like multiplayer games that are and stuff like that, it's like it feels like more people have been just desiring the casual experience over the competitive, because like the competitive scene in most games is pretty small in comparison to their like player base a lot of the times. Like when you really think about it, it's like
hmm.
of all the players that play Overwatch or Marvel Rivals and stuff like that, I would say probably, I don't know, maybe 10% of the players are actual competitive, like actually seeking that competitiveness. I mean,
I'm not.
I might be underselling that, but at the same point, it's like,
Yeah, I'm not sure I completely agree with that. That's the kind of player that I am, and I feel like that's kind of the player that you are. When I look at the Overwatch community in particular, I feel there is a lot of competitiveness. That's the actually a lot with most multiplayer games being a
well,
guy.
there's a difference between being competitive and acting competitive, like people wanting to
Hmm,
win, but like actually playing at a high level. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like people obviously will
That's
try and
yeah,
play.
obviously, yeah.
Like
Hmm.
that's what I mean by like, oh, that like everyone's trying to win a game or something like that, or whatever. It's not just everyone just fucking around or whatever type thing.
The
It,
actual like competitive, like the
like these are the
best
people
of the
that are
best.
like trying to become like professionals at the game.
Mm. I feel like there's quite a few players that do want that. I think a lot of them need to acknowledge that they're probably never going to get there.
Yeah.
It's like it's because of my support, so I'll never get out of silver. I'm supposed to be making it to GM. I should be playing in tournaments, and it's like in you're in silver trying to flank with Soldier 76. You're gonna do nothing and get nowhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't
I'm
know,
a
but that's
fucking
just
bronze player.
generally what I mean by like competitiveness. Everyone's competitive, and this is where you get sort of the toxicity that some games have, League of Legends,
Mm-hmm.
where everyone's just like, um, where everyone's just like you're just playing casual games or whatever, and even if things aren't going well, people will still flame you for not doing good. I'm like, bro, it's a
Mm-hmm.
fucking normal game or whatever. Yeah, it's not going great. I get that, but at the same point, it's just like we're just here having fun.
People who like flame and get super serious in modes like QP or Stadium, whenever I play Overwatch, I just cringe so hard because it's like, brother, why the fuck do you care? Why are you even
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
If you're gonna be like that butthurt over shit, it's like people are here to try out new characters, try out new things. No, your rank's not being affected here. You can chill out for a little bit.
Yeah, it's like go into actual ranked mode because that's what it's there for.
Mm.
But whatever.
This is honestly a real fun moment that I had in Overwatch recently, where I was playing an Ana, and I'm not good at Ana. I am completely dog shit. I lost every sleeper dart I ever shot, but it was me and this other team's Hanzo, right? Just going back and forth, like completely ignoring the rest of the map. We were just shooting each other the entire time because it's like obviously I'm the healer. He wants to get me, and nobody's going for the Hanzo, so I have to take care of him. And at some point, we just got like super close together at around this one point, and since we're both ranged characters, we're just like, what do we do here?
Yeah.
And no joke, I just did the waving high emote. He did it back, and we just for half the match stood there doing emotes at one another. It was hilarious.
Yeah, one of my favorite videos are from my from like a League of Legends content creator that I used to watch a lot of. Was literally just like there was a new Renekton skin where he basically was a lifeguard, and so when you hit his recall, he like a lifeguard
Mm-hmm.
stand would just come up out of nowhere, and he'd be like, "Hey, you get out of the pool," type thing, and it's just like, but if you spammed it, it's literally just him popping up in the air the whole time. It's really funny, and like people would literally walk like there was a video of like a guy just for the whole match with another Renekton that was wearing the same skin. They literally just ran around the map, bouncing up and down using the recall the entire match. Both teams didn't attack either of the Renektons or anything like that. There was just a silent agreement that they were just gonna be off fucking doing whatever, man. And it basically became a 4v4 game, and it was fucking fantastic.
That's awesome. I live for moments like
I
that.
know, it's just so that was like a half-hour game where they that's all they did the entire game. It was great. They're just sitting there laughing their ass off the whole time. It was great. It's like that's what normal games are there for. It's just like, all right, I guess our
Yeah.
top lane is just gone fucking mental or whatever. So we're just gonna kind of play and leave them be. So I don't know. It's hard to
Yeah.
balance. Hard to judge of whether like, do you go competitive? Do you not go competitive? And I feel like there has to be a balance. And it feels like Highguard just, I don't know if that balance wasn't there or the onboarding wasn't great or whatever.
The way these games should work and the way things should be is design a game that's good that people want to play,
Yeah.
and if it gets popular and people want to create a competitive scene, then you can go for that. Then you can mid max that. You can start, really balancing things and getting into the nitty gritty. In a way, that's kind of what Smash did.
Yeah.
Like Smash is a hugely popular competitive game now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look back at games like, obviously there's a big competitive scene around Melee, but if you look at Brawl, Brawl is not balanced super well. I
No.
think that game is popular for that.
Yes.
And I think isn't that the reason Ghost hates Brawl so much?
Yeah,
Is
pretty
because the
much.
balancing is horrible.
The balancing is
Yeah,
horrible, and using the Wii controllers just sucks ass.
that game had Subspace Emissary. That man just
Oh,
has no taste. But
it was so good.
it was. I love
That
Brawl. I love
campaign,
it
that
so
campaign
much.
of Subspace Embassy, god tier, god tier.
Nintendo, if when you make the next Smash game, do that. Do more of that. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, they saw, oh, a lot of people want to compete with this. Let's try and build around that. Then obviously, Wii U and 3DS came out, and because nobody played those games or owned those consoles, aside from the 3DS, obviously,
Mm.
nobody played that one. But then we got Ultimate, and Ultimate is like super balanced around being super competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I don't like Ultimate. But
I mean, I feel like Ultimate was
it's
kind of
there,
just this
yeah.
hybrid, like it was fun. It was like it was there for the casual fun or whatever, but it was also like it had elements of like,
Hmm.
if not or whatever, of being competitive and like the competitive viability of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I was like, first you got to make the good game, and then
Mhm.
then like the competitive scene, like instantly trying to go. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this game sweaty or whatever and stuff like that, or we're not gonna onboard people very well. Like or I don't know. It's just like that's. It's just I just feel like will almost never work because it's just like the people will try it, they'll get frustrated because they'll die so often, or whatever, because the game will be challenging, and then they'll just say, I'm just gonna go back to playing Marvel Rivals or Overwatch or whatever.
There are outliers definitely, but
Oh, absolutely.
there are those are the exception, especially when you consider a game that I brought up that a lot of people would contradict that point on is, well, Valorant was designed to be competitive. It was designed to be super competitive, and a lot of people played that game right away because that game was made by Riot. Okay,
That's
if
the kind of
people
game that
that
they're known for, though. Yeah.
that's the game that they're known for. That's the audience that they have, and they're also trying to attract the audience coming from CS:GO, which
Mm-hmm.
is also another
Which is
like
all
hyper
sweaty.
competitive game. Yeah. So they could get away with that. A
Yeah.
game like Highguard, not so much. I do want to, before we move on, clarify something for the audience. Ultimate is a great game. I just suck at it. That's
Yeah.
why I complain about it.
Yeah. It's kind of
Every
like
time.
it was like just another thing I wanted to say. I was like in going back to like the Riot stuff or whatever. It's like League did not start as like a competitive thing. When you look at like the history of League, it's just like it was a very casual experience that like they never had ranked or whatever type thing when it first started. It was like I don't even think that they had their first like major tournaments for a long time after the game was out, pretty much, and it was just like it was like, and it's one of the main reasons why people who've played it, myself included, when they like who played it back in the day, now seeing the game it is, and I'm just like, yeah, there's a reason why one, I don't play this game anymore, and two, why I think it was ruined to begin with. It was the hyper competitiveness going forward because League of Legends was doing well on the esports front, and because Riot just decided we're gonna go all in on esports, and I went, okay, so how does that affect like normal things? And it's like, well, it won't. And I'm like, but the mentality around your player base got worse as a result of that, which ultimately forced a lot of people away.
Mm.
I also find it funny that I was like reading here. It's like apparently Marathon's having like kind of the same problem where it's like people are just getting frustrated at the game because it's too difficult.
Ooh, let's talk about Marathon. I actually did try Marathon. That honestly is not the main complaint that I've been hearing a lot, that it's too difficult. What I've been
it's one
mainly
of the
hearing
things that I've heard people say or whatever. I think some of the devs have kind of talked about.
that, and I agree with a lot of the points that Mr. Matty Plays brought up. Obviously, this isn't my kind of game, so I may be in the bad position to criticize it. But in terms of like its positive, is the visual design is fantastic, right? The game looks super super good, and they're actually buried all beneath the multiplayer game shit. There is an actual story going on,
Mm-hmm.
which is neat. I'm not crazy about the design, some of the character designs, but it's whatever. They can do with that whatever they want. It's just the problem is, and I think I could get into Marathon too if the problem is that it's an extraction shooter that's really not doing anything differently than other extraction shooters. It is very, very basic. And, especially when you have something like Arc Raiders that just came out, a lot of people are going to be looking and thinking it's like, well, why do I want to, would I move over to this from Arc Raiders?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's like convince me to play this Bungie over Arc Raiders.
Mm. That and I do think that that $40 price tag is going to scare a lot of people away.
Yeah.
I get it; it's a different genre, and it's a genre that people have traditionally paid baseline for, right? You got to pay to access Arc Raiders, you got to pay to access Hunt Showdown, got to pay to access Marathon. It is difficult though, especially when you're trying to get into a space that so many other people are kind of like Highguard. So many more people are gunning for right now. You want to be an extraction shooter. Obviously, you're Bungie and you're owned by Sony, so you want this to be super successful. You want it to be as popular, if not more popular, than both those games. And I do not see Marathon being able to achieve that as of right now.
Well, the thing is like right now,
Mhm.
like with the $40, I don't think is the biggest problem or whatever. But it's like
It's definitely not
no.
at all.
But the thing is if it wants to have continued success and it wants to continue
Mhm.
like growing its player base, I feel like that's just going to be more and more of an issue, though.
The big price tag.
It could be.
I think as time goes on, it's going to be less of a problem because obviously they'll have things like Steam and like PlayStation sales where people. What I'm ultimately waiting for is if it doesn't die immediately, like Highguard or Concord, then maybe I'll wait for it to go on sale for like 15-20 bucks and then I'll pick it up. That's what might sell me, but yeah, so, like what is Arc Raiders cost? Just out of curiosity.
I think it's actually the same price as Marathon, if I'm not mistaken.
I actually thought it was more expensive. I think it's at 60, isn't it?
That's 40.
Oh, okay.
If you buy the
Maybe I'll eat
deluxe
my
edition,
words
it's
then.
60.
What comes in the deluxe edition that
Not
makes
a
it 60?
damn clue. Outfit, Pathfinder, backpack, whatever that means. Blanket roll, backpack attachment. Cosmetics, emotes, cosmetics, raider tokens.
So a bunch of bullshit. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. I don't know. For Marathon, despite what we may have said about it in the past, it's not a game that I really want to fail at all.
No.
I hope it's a game that does find its player base. The signs right now are not good. It still is a game that needs a lot of work. The big thing too is it needs something for people to latch onto, for people to say this is something that this game does different and better than other extraction shooters out in the market. Maybe add some new game modes, some new events, something like that. Maybe there's some like big story thing that happens on the maps that's like weirdly affecting them or something like that. I don't know what that game has to do. in order to, have a big or like consistent and like to have the player base that they had with Destiny, where
Yeah.
it's like you have a group of people that's really interested and dedicated to what you're playing, and they will be in it for the long run, uh, despite your many pitfalls. They will come back for because eventually they'll uh, they'll get one update and they'll claim that it's the greatest thing ever created. I.e., what is that one that came up for Destiny 2? The final shape. Do you think if Marathon fails though, that Sony will shut them down?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
What do you
Mainly
think
because
would?
mainly because I still think that their whole intention was for Bungie to help make all these other live service games, which I don't know if it has or has not been true at this point.
I'm not sure if that's Sony. It's going to be Sony's strategy moving forward though.
Yeah,
With all these like cancellations and failures in terms of like multiplayer games, I'm not completely positive that's the direction they're going in. I suppose they could tell Bungie, "Hey, can you go ahead and make Destiny 3?" But haven't hasn't their team faced like huge layoffs recently, or am I just going crazy?
I have no idea if that's true. I have not heard that.
All right, I'm gonna quick look this up because I don't want to. It'd be like last time where I was completely wrong and made a bunch of judgments based off my wrong assumption.
I just sort of feel like if Sony shut down Bungie because Marathon flopped or whatever didn't work out, it was
Hmm.
like that would be such a bad move for Sony in the end, and it's just like
I mean,
I would just say it's like so Bungie's just such a legendary developer. It's just like at the same point, it's like that. It's just like shutting them down just feels like it'd be a really bad move.
well, you could say the same thing about what they did recently to Blue Point, and
Yeah, but at least
at this
Bungie has more of a name, like a more weight behind their name.
at the same time, we were talking about this just last episode with how at one point fucking I cannot believe BioWare was such a huge studio. At one point, they were the some of the most renowned RPG makers in the industry, and now look at what they are now. It could just take a few failures for that legendary status to not be so legendary anymore.
Yeah, but I think that Bungie has not yet had that like they haven't had that many flops as or just did nothing for 10 years. I mean, they just put out Marathon for God's sakes and stuff like that. Like had Marathon taken another 5
Hmm.
years or whatever and then
Marathon hasn't.
it ended up being a complete flop, then I would say like okay, yeah, maybe it's time.
I mean, Marathon hasn't launched yet. It just had its server stress test.
Well, the fact is it's coming out at some point this year.
2 days, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm. What do you think their next move after, like, if Marathon does fail? Where do they go from there? Do they just keep updating it and hoping people will eventually, onboard onto it, or do they just say fuck it and try something else? And if they do you think they would go for a Destiny sequel, risking the player base that they have with Destiny 2, or whatever is left of that? And or do they pivot completely and try something completely different again?
It's a great question, and there'll be something to look forward to if that's the case. Figure out what's going on because honestly, it could be any of those. It's like the only thing I would say is if there was like if it was just updating Marathon, it would be like it would only
Hmm.
be if there would be enough player base to warrant doing that. Like enough consistent player base. Like that's pretty much why Highguard shut down. It's just like they just did not have the consistent player base that they needed to continue onboarding and updating the game and stuff like that. And it was just
Hmm.
like that was it was just like this is a losing battle. We're just not gonna have even if we do good updates. It's just not. and it probably won't bring back people. In essence, like I'm sure they've crunched the numbers. I'm sure they've done all the things they can, and they just said, yeah, it's just not worth trying. And it's like
Well, we've heard,
if Marathon ends up being the same way, then I could see them just like, all right, here's the game. We're gonna work on something else. Thanks for playing.
yeah, I'd be so pissed off if I spent $40 and they just immediately did that. I was gonna say that's like the reason I was kind of shell shocked with Arc Raiders and even Concord shutting down as quick as it did is we've seen crazy comebacks from multiplayer games like this before. Like with the atrocious launch of Fallout 76, the fact that that game has any modern player base now, or even like a strong player base, is insane to me. That the fact that that game was able to make a comeback, the fact that ESO was able to make a comeback. I don't know if it's just Bethesda being
In
ridiculously stubborn with their shit,
in the case
but also No
in
Man's Sky.
yeah
Yeah.
in the case of Fallout 76, in my mind, it's the idea. I think that was purely the namesake, and I think it was just general feedback of what people thought about the game. It's like yeah, it's an open sandbox game, but there's not a lot to do in it. But it's pretty much just Fallout and stuff like that. And then they were like, all right, well, let's just add all this other stuff. We'll make it more like a traditional Fallout game and stuff like that. And then as a result of that, with updates, had any of those updates not succeeded, I think that we would be telling another story of Fallout 76 probably. With No
Well,
Man's
yeah.
Sky, that is purely just like they just had the initial support, hype or whatever. I guess the sales at the beginning to continue, developing it or whatever, or
Yeah.
making it a good
Same,
game.
same kind of thing with Cyberpunk. Basically,
Yeah, it was just the
they
sales
had
were
a
so good. The money was
mm,
there.
okay.
It's like, and then because that's always the thing with like again, just with Highguard being a free to play game, it's just like if you don't have the player base, if they're not spending money on cosmetics or battle pass or whatever, this is just a losing battle. And it's at some point, do you put down the shovel or do you try and dig your way out only to realize you've dug a deeper hole? And so they just
That's a
decided we're just going to put down the shovel and just call it a day.
that's a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard, especially when you do consider that it is Bungie. It's like, do you think because of the studio that made it, like maybe PlayStation would be more like, let's give it some time, let's see how this goes a little
Absolutely.
bit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's in my mind, it's that it is Bungie. They made one of the best live service games out there in the past decade, pretty much, like one of them at least.
Hmm.
And it's like, just give them time, even if it means we'll have to spend a little extra money here and there, and maybe they won't bring in as much profits as we want. We'll give them a little leeway, and if that continues to be a thing, then we might have to have a bigger talk about whether or not we're moving forward further with Marathon or if we're just calling it there. I think they've warranted it, but we'll see if Sony thinks that
It,
if it doesn't do well.
it does seem like too. It's like I'm looking at this now. A lot of the feedback, and it actually seems to be more 50-50. There's obviously a lot of people being like, "Oh, this game sucks. This isn't enough. Could this game be the end of Bungie? Question mark." But there's a lot of people also saying things like it's a lot better than I expected it to, and I see a lot of um, feedback uh, from people saying like the community, like communication has been super strong. They're already laying out what their future plans are, and they're decently confident about the future of it, which is, yeah, Bungie is kicking ass with community feedback. So all this is good. They definitely made the right choice, especially when they delayed this game the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They it obviously bought themselves a lot of bad press with the whole stealing art thing, but
Yeah,
let's hope that they can recover from this. It's all of it looks
I think there's enough Bungie like fanboys basically out there, and enough people that are willing to try and like the idea of the extraction shooter that they'll give it a go.
Yeah.
And I think we'll probably find that they'll either like it more or they'll be like, it's fine, but it's like, whatever type thing. And maybe we'll see after a few updates of like what happens to it. But
Hmm. I was right earlier, by the way. The layoffs were in 2024, and it was about 17 to 18% of their workforce. But let's see. Duh. Wait, were those the actual numbers from the stress test? There's no way.
I doubt they're out there.
No, they're out there.
Are they?
Uh, all-time peak was 143,000 people.
That's
143,621 to be exact.
that doesn't seem too bad.
That's actually not bad at all. The all-time peak for arc raiders was 189,668. It looks like.
Yeah.
At least during their initial stress test. They did make a. There was obviously a big boom once the game actually came out. Obviously, like all games do.
Yeah.
So who knows? Marathon might do the same thing.
Yeah. We shall see. So, what do we think about Sony talking about not putting the single player games onto Steam? And do we think this was a real reason why Blue Point shut down?
I think it's definitely a factor, and I think Sony are being idiots. I'm just.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm putting it out there.
I fully agree with you.
I think this is a completely stupid move based off of a really dumb and petty thing for them to do. It's like, it's like if Xbox is going to make this PC console hybrid, then we don't want PlayStation games being playable on Xbox. And it's like, why? You won. You won. It's over. You did it. They're not coming.
Someone forgot to tell Sony that the console wars are over.
I get it. Xbox is still making a console. And that new CEO is talking about like, oh, we'll look at making exclusives again. Whatever, all that's bullshit. They're putting a Halo on PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's done. We're over. It's all over now. Xbox waved the white flag. You can stop it. So this is just leaving a lot of money on the table. And here's the thing: if PlayStation doesn't want to do the whole Steam integration thing with their next console, like the Steam Machine and next gen Xbox, that's just gonna remove so much value from the next gen PlayStation. Especially now that they're doing this, now they have to look at pricing that thing competitively, because if PC parts become any cheaper and they try to price this thing at like $800, $1,000, it's like, well, fuck it, just get a PC at that point. It can do so much more than a PlayStation can.
And realistically, it's just like if you're gonna do that, like the games are gonna have to be the selling point. And for I don't know, it just I think I talked about this on Sunday with Billy for a bit or whatever. It's just like it feels like a lot of like the not that I think that the God of War games are bad, but man, are they just really boring. It's like it's more of just playing a TV show or a movie basically and stuff like that. And while it can be fun for some people, I just look at it going just like I just don't want to do it. I'd rather just watch the cutscenes at that point.
I had an okay time with the God of War games, but here's the thing: as soon as I was done with them, I never had any desire to ever touch them again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, cool, game's over. Guess I'll move on now. It's like, there's a lot of games where I will complete it, and it's like, cool, I can't wait to play that game again, or I can't wait to try, another story path, maybe, right? Like, all the Bioshock games I played a few times. I played the Alan Wake games multiple times. God, the number of times I played certain games made by Remedy, it's crazy. With God of War, it's like, yeah, it's the gameplay loop is so boring, and everything is so straightforward. Like it has a quote unquote open world with like side stuff to do. You quickly realize when you're doing a lot of this side stuff that there's no point in doing any of it. It's
Yeah.
just it's honestly a lot more boring than some like Assassin's Creed side missions,
Yeah,
which is
it's just here to
saying
waste out
something.
time to so that way the game isn't only like 30 hours basically.
Hmm.
I don't know. It like for some people like that's the experience they want. Cool, whatever, fine. I think that's great. But for like some people, it's just like for me, I have no interest in playing any of the God of War games and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I don't really care. I'll watch for the story, and that's pretty much it. I don't really care. So, but it's just like if they make games like that, I'm just like you're just gonna lose a lot of people. I feel like it's just like I don't know, just like games get boring, repetitive, or whatever. It's like Last of Us is kind of the same way, and I fear Wolverine might end up being the same way as well. At least like Spider-Man was,
Hmm.
a bit more interactive or whatever.
I don't think Wolverine is going to have an open world like the Spider-Man games
No,
did.
I
There's
think
no
it's gonna play a
chance.
lot like the God of War games.
I think it's going to be a damn near identical to that. My problem with Sony, honestly, isn't even the games here. I just don't like the mindset. I think
Yeah,
it's stupid. I think it's petty, and I think it's anti-consumer. And with their whole, if the whole idea behind why they're doing this is, well, if you buy an Xbox, then you'll just be able to get PC exclusives, Xbox exclusives, and PlayStation exclusives all on the same console. Yeah, you're going to be able to do that with the next gen PlayStation.
yeah,
Xbox is putting their games on your console.
yeah.
Even if
Also,
they
as
don't
well,
do that,
you still get the money for the game. Who gives a shit?
still get the money for the game. If people are playing it on the Xbox, they're not even Xbox isn't even getting anything from that sale. It's all going to Steam. You're not giving anything to your competitor here. It's a win-win-win for you, and you're still doing this because it's like, I wonder games on Xbox.
Well, we need to sell PS5s, otherwise we're not gonna be relevant or whatever. And I sit here going just like, but aren't you currently taking? I mean, was this not our thing when the PS5 was coming out that like basically that they were taking losses on every sale of the PS5?
Yeah, because they wanted
So
to sell something.
does that tell me that they are no longer taking a loss on the PS6 and it's going to be like $1,000? Is that am I reading into this too much?
Who the fuck is going to pay for a PlayStation 6 if they're going to do some shit like
That's
that?
what I've said. I'm like I'm not. There's no fucking way I'm paying $1,000 for a PlayStation 6. Fuck off. I
I
don't
get
give a shit.
I guess like some PlayStation diehards, but my god, that is a tough sell at that point.
For you're gonna lose out on a lot of people. I feel like as a result of that. Yeah, like, yes, you will get
Hmm.
sales, but you won't get nearly as many as I think you were hoping for.
Compared to that, like imagine if Xbox does price their consoles competitively. Let's honestly, for a second, let's go back here. Let's go back a second here. Let's say that is what PlayStation does. With this new strategy, only PlayStation games on PlayStation. It's going to have no PC compatibility whatsoever. Now, let's say Xbox, and I mean completely pivots with next generation, right? They just put the first Gears and original Halo on PlayStation. They say, okay, that's their entry point to the series, and we will go back to exclusives with the next Xbox. It's going to be cheaper than next gen PlayStation, and we're going to have like the Steam and Epic Game Store storefronts on there, and you'll be able to do stuff like run emulators, all this other stuff, do whatever the fuck you want with your new Xbox. The next PlayStation is $1,000. We're gonna make ours like 700. Do you think there's any possibility that Xbox bounces back at that point? I don't think that's what's going to happen, but
No, but if that happens, I don't know. I Part of me still says no because it's like the thing is like with
The Xbox ecosystem is not a good one.
Well,
They have a
the
lot to
micro
prove.
their
I'm not
their
saying that.
market their marketplace is basically just like,
Mm.
well, why would I was like, I already have a halfway decent PC. I'll just play all the games on there.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like when it comes to
Mm.
selling Xboxes, I mean, probably not, but would it help them in the long run potentially? Doing more exclusives or whatever? Yeah, probably.
Uh, Now that I'm thinking about it, what if they do effectively what the Steam Machine is doing? They say, oh, yeah, this is an Xbox, but it's basically like a good starter PC that you can play on your television.
I mean, I feel like that's what Xbox has been trying to do for the longest time since like the 360, basically.
That's
Not the 360, the one.
No, that's what they should have been doing. They wanted it to be with the Xbox One. They wanted it to be a cable box. Is the
That's right. That's right.
problem.
They were going on TV because the meme was TV. How many times they said TV in that whole presentation?
That whole generation was just such a mistake. With the Xbox Series X, I think that's what they wanted
I
to
think that's what they
do.
tried for, and it didn't quite work out either.
I think with I think with this one where they're actually like literally adding like the Steam and Epic Game Store storefronts, I think they did say that they're open to enabling people to like use like other PC programs on it. I think they're just fully in that now because that sounds a lot like the Steam machine, doesn't it?
Yeah, at this point, it's like, oh, we got beat to it by the Steam machine, and we're like, all right, fuck, what do we do now?
I guess make it cheaper. I'm not sure if Xbox is gonna do that though.
No, no, not especially not the way they've been going recently.
No,
So,
I'm just for everyone listening. I'm just throwing the hypothetical out
oh
there.
yeah, it's all hypothetical. But
There's no way unless you're like the dumbest of dumbest fanboys, and I really do mean that. I think if you're championing this and being like, oh yeah, they're going back to console exclusives, go PlayStation, there's no hope for you. There's no hope. This is stupid. It's anti-consumer. It's taking away games from people, and all this is going to result in is PlayStation making less money. I think, at least in my opinion.
potentially less money, and losing a lot of face as well, potentially.
Yeah, from what I hear, nobody is happy about
Yeah,
them doing this.
it's like there was. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. I think everyone thought it was great that like, okay, this, PlayStation, God of War comes out, a year later we'll get the PC port. We got the PC port or whatever. That was great. It was like, oh
Mhm.
man, I had never played this game before. And now I was like, I'm a primarily PC gamer. I'm gonna play this now.
Because the PlayStation diehards that want the exclusives get to play the game right away.
Yes,
And when you made all those initial sales, you'll be like, okay, a year later, we'll give it to the PC crowd, and we
which
get a
gives you
whole
another
nother
round
wave.
of sales and more money.
Exactly. They never were doing the thing like Xbox did, where it comes out on PC day one. That was never
No,
happening.
no
So
one
they
ever
kept
said it needed to happen. No one was even really necessarily asking for that.
So the console still had its value, since if you want PlayStation games, the only way to play them day one was with that system.
Hmm.
But you also had a lot more sales coming in from the PC crowd because you were getting that second wave of players in. And even if you were worried about Xbox players being able to play your games as if PlayStation in any universe right now should be worried about Xbox. Then it's like, okay, if they want to play it, they're going to have to wait a whole nother year to play those games. Imagine this. It's like on the Xbox, somebody plays like the PC port of God of War and Ragnarok, and the next God of War gets announced, right? Hell, the God of War trilogy comes in, was announced, and you say the only way you're going to be able to play that game for a full year is if you have a PS5. That Xbox player, the few that exist, are going to look at that and be like, oh, cool, I'll pick up a PlayStation so I can play that game when it comes out. I don't get it. I really, I admit I'm not a businessman.
Yeah.
Maybe they know something we don't. I
They just see
don't.
market. They see market trends. They see that the sales of Xbox is probably, or Xbox PlayStation is probably going down. So they're just like, we need to keep selling PlayStation 5. So screw the PC market.
It's
Feels just as
near
an
the end.
overreaction.
It's near the end, or what should be the end of the PS5 generation. And you know what? Let's be honest. Within like even the last year, what PlayStation games came out that were like really like must plays for a lot of people that we're never going to see a PC port. It's like the newest Final Fantasy, I guess.
But
Was there
that
anything
got a
else
PC port.
whatsoever?
Square puts out PC ports for all of them, for the Rebirth, the remake, and everything.
Okay, so like last few years, like PS5 only games that came out that were must plays. You
Final
have like
Fan.
Astrobot, I guess.
I don't know,
You have Death Stranding, maybe.
but that's also on the that's also on the PC market. It's like I'm trying to think. I'm like, not much, honestly.
If at PlayStation, if you want people to buy PlayStations, you need to put games on the PlayStation that people want to play.
Yeah,
Crazy fucking concept.
it's crazy. Just utterly crazy. I mean, I've never thought about doing anything but of that what you just said.
It's crazy to think that we had this same conversation with Xbox X amount of years ago.
I mean, I feel like we had that like like a couple weeks ago.
God, I remember when Xbox, if you want people to play Halo, you need to put stuff in Halo that people want to play, so people play Halo.
Yeah.
No updates for 8 months. Go fuck yourselves. It's
It gets a little crazy, doesn't it?
time is a flat circle.
It really is.
It's
Like
crazy.
it all just comes back around. Sony will do Sony things.
Hmm.
Speaking of Sony things, the live action God of War series put out a screenshot, and it's rough, and not in a good way.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. Let's see if
Oh
I can.
man, I hadn't seen this till today. Phew.
That is certainly something. That's for sure.
Yep. I don't know.
So
I said to myself, I was like, is this gonna be like the Yakuza like series that everyone just like pretends it didn't happen?
I mean, I could see this being a. Remember when the Witcher thing came out,
Yeah.
right? When the Witcher series came out, when that was first revealed, Henry Cavill didn't look super good as
Yeah.
Geralt at first. Maybe this is just an.
I would
Maybe
hope
this
this is
is
an
just.
early shot basically, and they'll go back and redo it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is
I
just one of
just
those
don't.
moments that just doesn't really feel like. I don't know. It just almost doesn't feel like the casting is quite correct. But I can't. I don't know if that's necessarily a thing or if it's just the general feel. The like in the picture, it's like Kratos is bent over, like concentrating at what Atreus is like shooting at or whatever. I'm like, he would
Mm-hmm.
never do that in the games. Like
He
he'd
he
stand there,
does.
fucking look down and go, boy, shoot it.
Well, no, he does get down like with Atreus like that, but being
No,
all hunched
but like
over like
hunched
that.
over like that is what I mean.
What is yeah? What is that facial expression he's making
Yeah,
too?
it's sort of just like, oh, it's not the greatest.
He looks like me after taking that fucking buffalo chicken mac poop. just reflecting on
Like
everything
he
that
just let
life
out
has thrown at
like the
him.
best feeling fart. You're just like, oh man.
Ah, that was a good baconator.
Yep, pretty much. I don't know.
It's like look at a from like the recent God of War games. Look at what Kratos used to look like too. His beard is really clean looking, and this one looks like really.
Yeah, like
Am I wrong
scraggly.
for saying that his beard looks almost fake in this?
It does. It does. It looks kind of fake, and it looks just like scraggly or whatever. It's like they almost made him look
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a, I don't know, kind of like a hobo almost. I don't know. It's like when people like me, like, you know, it's like while they're making fun of it, it's like it's like, but when they say it, it's like it's not necessarily wrong. It's like it almost looks like a guy cosplaying Kratos rather than like
That very
portraying
much.
him.
I wouldn't say that's wrong at all. That very much looks
That's
what
what
it.
it feels like, right?
Mm.
And I'm just like, oh, that's not
This
good.
was this was just the wrong image to put out. It's like
This
I'm sure you
if
can.
Amazon thought this was a good idea to put out,
Mm,
I would have questioned you. I would have like that tells me that it's not going well then.
no, it's like I'm sure this guy can pull it off, but show a picture of him, being the god of war.
Yeah, show
You
like a
know,
picture of like them like fighting something or something like that, not them
hmm
like oh like teaching Atreus how to shoot a bow or something like that. It's like, well, we don't want to do spoilers and stuff like that, and I'm like, but this is the picture you decided to put out,
hmm
really? Wild, wild.
I want to see a picture of him standing up straight though too, because
Same.
if you know anything about Kratos, I'm sure this guy is pretty strong IRL, right? Like, who's the actor that they got for
I have
Kratos?
no idea.
Let me do some looking. But Kratos is fucking,
He's huge.
jacked in the game, right? He is like, he looks like a god.
Yeah. It's like he's a big dude or whatever. So it's like yeah. And also it's
Ryan
like something I've
Hurst, yeah.
noticed as well from of seeing like screenshots of like Kratos, especially from the two most recent games. Is just like you ever notice how just like incredibly straight Kratos stands? I don't
Yeah.
know. I've just noticed that he's just like there is no like he doesn't hunch over like this or whatever. He is like he's just like straight back, like just puffs out the chest all the time. I guess when you have the pecs like
Okay, yeah.
that, you can do that.
His name is Triple H, I guess.
Oh, it's just
Ryan Hurst.
oh no, is it Triple H? Oh boy.
He seems like a pretty jacked guy.
I mean, yeah, he was a former wrestler if I'm not mistaken.
hmm I mean, just looking at his photos point blank, it looks like he could pull this off. Why
Yeah,
did
I
you
mean,
say, "Oh no," when I said it was Triple H? Is Triple H not?
I don't know. He's fine. It's just like a wrestler. It's just like a wrestler where it was just like he was more of doing the um how to describe this necessarily um was like figuring out storylines of like of all the people rather than like doing it himself,
Mhm.
which mainly because his time has passed. But like
Okay.
it's just like I don't know. I'm like this is the I don't know. This is the guy we went for. Whatever.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
looking at his.
I'm sure he looks the part.
Mhm.
This isn't like we're gonna do this isn't like a Borderlands like Roland where we're gonna have Kevin Hart play Roland, the
No,
big
no,
muscle bound general basically, and we're gonna have tiny ass Kevin Hart play him, and I'm just like, boy, that was
no,
terrible.
no casting decision will ever be that bad. Like, I think by looking at that picture, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
So, oh, did I just close Discord?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going crazy here, but
I don't know. Not great to start out. Hopefully, it
no.
will end up being better than this picture gives us.
I I hope this is just yeah, basically a bad first impression. Maybe they'll put out a trailer in a
I
few
hope
months and
that
it'll
if they didn't have any intentions of redoing this shot, I hope they redo it.
yeah. Or maybe this isn't even from the actual show. This is just like a promo thing that they photographed,
This
which
is just AI generated shit. No, no, it's not that.
good lord.
See, the thing is, I don't even think AI could do Kratos bad.
No. Can I also say I'm also not a fan of how Atreus looks in this?
Yeah, he looks. I don't know.
Hezbollah.
I don't know. Just like it's too thick. I don't know. He's a skinny dude in the game, man.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's something about this. Like this whole picture just isn't right. Like just erase this from your memory, hopefully, and just pretend it never happened.
They gave him a fucking TikTok haircut as opposed to what Atreus actually looks like. When is
Yeah.
this supposed to take place, by the way? Is it like before or after
I
the
think
first
it's just
game?
supposed to be a telling of the first game, honestly.
Oh
I
no.
have no idea if that's actually true or not.
Okay. We may have a problem if that's the case.
Well,
I heard that it takes place like basically right before the first game, which kind of helps. I think. I'm not
yeah.
sure.
Sure, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't really care for it, to be honest with you. All right. Well, the
Okay.
last thing we should probably talk about was the Pokemon Presents for the Pokemon Day 30th anniversary. With the big reveal being the Winds and Waves Gen 10 game.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think about it?
I mean, we were talking about this before the podcast actually started. I think visually it looks exponentially better than the last
Better than
few,
Scarlet Violet.
yeah, than the last few Pokemon games have, which is very good to see. I'm curious because I like what they did in terms of the gameplay of Pokemon ZA. That was the first like Pokemon game in a while that really made me turn my head. It's like with Scarlet and Violet, it's like people told me, "Oh, those games are actually like really good. They're way better than Sword and Shield." It's like, okay, yeah, it's whatever. It's a Pokemon game. Who cares? Pokemon ZA kind of gave me pause because like, oh, this is new. This is interesting. I like where they're going with this. So I'm curious because the battles just took place out in the open. You know, when you start a battle,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. We're starting. Here we go. It was almost more like Final Fantasy style in a way.
Kind of.
I'm curious if they're just going to, you know, evolve on that. See what a funny Pokemon humor. Or okay, hurt my feelings. Why don't you? Or if they're just going to go back to the old turn-based combat.
Yeah, we'll see.
Uh,
I, I,
we'll see.
I
Yeah.
don't really remember necessarily the trailer, but like I was like, I don't believe that there was any like showing off of any real battles. So, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. It's like at least like the graphics look way better than it did
Mhm.
before. I don't know, at least putting the Switch 2 hardware to work. That's
Yeah,
so. It's
that's
like
good to see.
actual reasons to like, okay, this is why we made the Switch 2 is to make games better, basically, as a result of that. And it's like, well, this is definitely showing that off. So hey,
Credit where credit's due. We finally see Pokemon starting to evolve a little bit.
mm-hmm.
It's good to see. I haven't seen. They didn't show off the legendaries yet. They showed off that cringe thing of Pikachu and I guess a female Pikachu in island outfits.
What are you talking about? Everyone was so excited for that you could customize your Pokemon like that.
Oh, is that what it is?
A lot of people
Oh,
are theorizing that you might be able to customize your Pokemon, like you might be able to dress them up, basically.
That's actually fire. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, a lot of people. A
If
lot of
that's
people
what you
are
could get
like
to do.
are like really want that to be a thing in the game, and I'm like, yeah, that's not honestly a bad thing. So I was just like, sure, let's go for that. No, it's like I think they kind of just did generally what they usually do for these reveals or whatever. It's like they show off kind of like the world in essence, like what you're going to be doing through it. I know one of the things that people were excited for is that you can actually go underwater. It looks like it's like the first time you'll be able to use like dive since like what was that like Hoenn basically like Gen 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. And then they just start off the three starters as they've been
What do
kind
you
of
think
doing.
of it? What do you think of the starters? Brout, Pombon, and Gekwa.
Fucking Brout is just Rowlet 2.0.
Worse Rowlet.
Yeah, it's like you can either take it as 2.0 or 0.5.
It is definitely point 0.5. Rowlet is an icon. That's not Frank. That's Chris.
Look, I don't think I'm necessarily going to get winds or waves. Yes, I also like that.
I kind of want to. If I get to dress up my Pokemon, I'm definitely.
I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get it yet, but I'm definitely going with Pombon as my fucking starter. That's for damn sure. That dog is too fucking adorable.
If I can catch my cute little routes and I can put them in a dress, then I'm definitely going to buy this game day one. 100%.
Do you think if that's the case, are we gonna have like Pokemon contests come back? Like
yes. 100%.
I was like, I don't know if it's been a thing in the past few games or whatever. I don't think so. But it's just like I just remember like for a couple generations or whatever, where it was like, oh, you could do Pokemon contests or whatever, and the whole idea was that like, oh, you do, certain moves or whatever, and it was just like, yeah, if you can start dressing up your Pokemon and actually like make a like almost like make like a presentation out of it, I'm like that'd be actually kind of cool.
Dude, if they have this customization thing, and they have a cat Pokemon that I can put in sunglasses and a tiara, and a goat Pokemon that I can put in a purple cloak, and name my trainer Carl, and I can name the kitty cat Princess Donut.
There you
Oh
go.
my god, this may be the game that makes me buy a Switch 2. Did not think I would say that about a Pokemon game. But yeah, the starters are all dog shit. Pombon is my least.
Do we think any of them are going to stay on their four legs? Like I know the owl's on fucking 2 legs technically, but who gives a shit about that thing?
Pombon, I actually think he will. I think it's going to be a thing where he's going to turn into a lion. I think that's ultimately where that's going.
That's what people are kind of thinking as well.
I'm not sure.
There is zero chance that fucking lizard stays on 4 legs. Zero fucking chance.
Yeah, probably. I also hate the names. I'm sorry. Brout, Pombon.
There's Brout, Pombon, and I don't even know how to Gekka?
It's Gekwa because it's
Gekwa?
a gecko. Get it? Instead of gecko, it's Gekwa.
Gekwa.
They changed a single syllable. Good for you, dude.
Oh, what are we gonna do? Our starters. We're gonna name it Brout, Pombon, and Gekwa.
See this Pokemon?
It's like
it looks
Brout,
like a cow.
and I'm like, yeah, we need to come up with like a general thing of Brout or whatever. It's like, all right, get this. It's gonna be a leaf owl. I feel like we've seen this before. What about remember that Pokemon Rowlet? Yeah, nobody remembers that guy, so we don't care about him. Turns out a lot of people remember him.
Mm-hmm. It's like we're gonna have a Pokemon that looks like a cow, right? We're gonna call it a coo. All you need to do is change one letter. People will never recognize it.
Never recognize it.
A plus creativity. But I can't talk shit. Gekwa is obviously the best one out of all these three. 1,000%. Mm-hmm.
Disagree, but
disagree. Okay, who's your favorite then?
I mean, it's got to be Pombon. I like dogs, man. I'm a dog owner.
You are going for the Pomeranian.
Hell yeah.
I bet you also picked out Score Bunny and Sword and Shield.
I did not because I was like
You basic ass bitch.
I
I
think mainly because I was supposed to be rivals with Evan when that happened, and he picked Score Bunny, so I picked Sobble just so I'd have the water Pokemon to his fire.
Oh my god, Evan, you've picked Score Bunny. You're supposed to be the contrarian, you bitch.
I
You're
think I don't
betraying
remember.
your.
It's been a while.
Me and Evan were supposed to be on the same page. I'm going to spank him next time I see him. I wanted to be the outlier. I didn't pick Charizard like everybody else. I picked Ivysaur because he needs someone that loves him. Is it Venusaur? That's the third one. I forget.
Venusaur is the third one. Is the final evolution.
I feel so bad. My buddy Venusaur. Uh, whatever. Can we both agree that Brout is the worst
Oh,
one?
Brout's the fucking just absolute piece of dog shit.
Okay, Brout is dog shit. I can
Brout
deal
is
with
that like is the vomit from Pombon that basically just like I ate something bad and that's what came out.
Okay, good. Everyone hates Brout. I can. Pombon's cool. He's cute. He's a cute little guy. Gekwa has aura though. He's like
He
Greninja.
has aura from his eyes because he's got like those squinty little eyes. Like he's gonna
Hell yeah.
fucking kill you.
He's like Greninja, dude. He's an icon.
Dude, I can't wait for him to be like some like goth like fucking piece of dog shit or whatever. He's gonna probably wearing like a choker or some shit.
Oh hell yeah. I'll be so into that. Don't don't take that the wrong way. People I said the Ralphs thing earlier too. People don't know the story. I need to tell it again now so people don't think I'm weird. So I've told you this story a million times, right? With Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
This is purely for the listener, by the way, so they don't think I'm a creep. People assume all sorts of shit when I say, like, Gardevoir is my favorite Pokemon. I'm not like that, okay? When Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness came out, I was an idiot. When I saw Ralts for the first time, I thought he was the cutest little fucking thing. And I was a child, by the way. I wasn't, you know,
Who's child?
I was not the fucking Gooner brained yet. I thought he was adorable. I thought he was the cutest little fucking thing that I ever saw. And I honestly didn't know what his evolutions were, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was before. This is even before like we had like easy access to the internet. I think at least my family. We still had dial-up at that point. I think when we got Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That or I just didn't know much about Internet Explorer for obvious reasons. My parents didn't want me on there. Looking back, I can understand why they didn't want me on there. That's beside the point. I didn't know what he would evolve into, right? I knew nothing about this Pokemon. I knew he was cute as shit, and I knew if I killed him and I didn't catch him in that game, I was going to be mortified. So I used my Master Ball on him like an idiot. I had to go on a whole new game card because I didn't want to delete that one either. I loved that Gardevoir. Still do. I still have that save file. But when he evolved and he turned into that little ballerina thing, I felt like a proud dad. I felt like a father, dude. I in that save file, I don't think I used the Espeon I evolved my Eevee into that much either. I loved trading up this little Ralph thing, and when he evolved into Gardevoir, I felt like a dad, dude. I felt like a proud parent watching my cute little guy grow up. And then I did grow up and I saw that what the internet did to Gardevoir, and it sickened me to my core.
Yeah.
And now people are gonna do the goth Dami Mommy stuff with a fucking gecko.
Oh man.
No matter how animal animal like they make these Pokemon, there's always going to be somebody that wants to have sex with it.
Look, I blame Markiplier when he did his Smash or Pass for all the Pokemon.
No, it was definitely bad even before that.
I know, but then he made it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Dude, poor fucking Vaporeon. Like, okay.
Man.
I want you, on your computer, you don't need to show this in the podcast video. Pull up a picture of that Pokemon. Look at a Vaporeon.
Uh-huh.
In what galaxy, what sort of human being looks at that and says, I want to have sex with that?
Crazy people, that's what.
That's a dog. That's a fish.
It's a fish dog.
That's a fish dog.
Mm. See, I think it's also the people that always say like, oh man, it would be great to have like a mermaid, and I'm sitting here going just like, but you realize that they're fish from the waist down, right?
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Like,
and this, it's like, oh, it's a water cat, a water dog. I want to pet it. I want to snuggle it. I want to give them pets and treats and tell them they're a good boy. Not what internet degenerates want to do with it. It's like the My Little Pony fandom. There's half of Pokemon fans are so wholesome and genuine, and even going back to last week's conversation, talking about like the Pokemon TCG people, there's a group of people that just really like the art, really appreciate the cards.
Yeah.
And I feel for those people. I appreciate those people. But then there's the other half that just sucks so hard.
Yep.
Are just the fucking worst. I feel for those people because they make their fandom look so bad.
Yep. Absolutely.
This is not how I expected this conversation to be going. I apologize that you have to do this podcast with me.
It's fun. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. People are going to think I'm your Nick. I'm your Nick to Meat Canyon. I'm just here to say unhinged stuff. And you talk about the important stuff. Yeah, you talk about stuff like when we talked about Avatar, you were talking about like the actual quality of the movie and all the merits that it has, and I'm over here like, oh man, if I could fuck the blue people.
If I could fuck that fire lady, oh man.
That's my place in this podcast.
Yeah.
Fucking love it.
It's great.
Thanks everybody for listening.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell this was.
Yeah. And don't fuck Pokemon or animals of any sorts. TLDR, don't do that.
PSA, don't fuck animals.
Don't fuck animals, don't fuck Pokemon. I guess you want to jack off to your Pokemon cards, then you have every right to, I guess.
No, don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't say do that. I just said I guess if you want to. One, it makes you a fucking weirdo, but two, you know.
What's wrong?
I don't know.
I hate everything and everyone so much. My God.
Yep.
The internet sucks, life sucks, everything else sucks. And if you like Pokemon that way, you suck. Don't fuck animals, you degenerates. That's the point of this podcast.
Exactly, and that's where we're gonna leave it. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to this fucking dumb piece of dog shit.
I did not expect this conversation to go this far in this direction. If you're listening on Spotify, thank you so much. Be sure to leave us a good old rating. We really do appreciate it. We really mean the most. And if you do want to, if we also really appreciate it when if you want to leave comments, letting us know what you think. We always love continuing the conversation. And if you want to leave a suggestion of things you'd like us to talk about, we're always reading those. We're always listening. And be sure to tell your friends. We always want more people listening. We
Yeah.
have a lot of fun doing this. As crazy as they can get sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Today's a perfect example.
exactly. Again, thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the conversation.
Yep. Till next time. Bye bye.